Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG Online video. And today I have for you guys a deck that J0Do wanted to see. And this deck is going to be a Mega Charzard deck. This is, I think this is the Mega Charzard Y1. The other one, the Mega Charzard X, is the Dragon type one. But this is going to be the one built around Crimson Dive. This Pokemon does 50 damage to itself, but for 5 energy, 2 fire, and 3 colorless, we can do 300 damage. We can take out a Whale Lord with this kind of attack. But who says we're going to play against Whale Lords anyway? Let's take a look here. Mega Charzard. This is actually, surprisingly, I have the secret rare one. 220 HP is not too shabby. Kind of wish it was 230, but 220 is all we got. One thing I would love to do is do Crimson Dive on, let's say, a Metal type Pokemon or a Grass type Pokemon, or like a Genesect EX or something like that. That would be 600 damage. That would be really cool. Too bad we don't play anything like Muscle Band. You know, that would be incredible. What is that? You know, 640. I mean, we could do something like with Deoxys. We can play, let's say we had Plasma Badge and 4 Deoxys. That's just silly. But anyways, that is going to be the Mega Charzard here. We will have the Charizard EX here with Stoke. I chose to play this one instead because you never know when you can flip a coin, and if you hit heads, you can search for 3 basics and attach it to Charizard EX. Otherwise, we'll have 2 Reshiram here with Outrage and Blue Flare, just to deal with things like Sigilyph and Suicune. Those safeguard Pokemon can be pretty pesky. We have the Jirachi EX with Stellar Guidance Beam, where they just play it from our hand and search for any supporter card is always a plus. We have, again, Sigilyph here with Safeguard, a Pokemon that we can kind of just hide behind and, you know, build up our Charizard, I guess. We do have the Whale Lord EX here, 250 HP. We got a couple of these. We're not going to do the attack high breaching at all. This guy is just here, so we can hide behind him and start to build our Mega Charizard. That's the only plan here. This plan is very rudimentary, it's very elementary, it's just very simple and basic. Hide behind a big Whale Lord and power up Mega Charizard. Okay, let's take a look at the items and whatnot. We have the Battle Compressor, 3 of these, just to get the fire energy supporters, things that we don't want to draw into, get them into the discard pile. We have 1 Computer Search, we got 1 Professor's Letter, 2 Switches because our Pokemon are very heavy, including the Whale Lord, 3 Ultra Balls, got 2 VS Seekers, 3 VS Seekers, I'm sorry, and 2 Blacksmith. We got 1 Colress here, we got 1 Lysander, 1 Lysander's Trump card, 3 Ends, and 1 Pokemon Center Lady, just to heal a little bit. We have the Professor Birch's Observation, 4 Junipers, and 1 Skyla. Here we go for the stadium. It's going to be a couple of these Scorched Earth. Now, you might be thinking, Mega Charizard, how are you gonna build this guy up? Well, I mean, we do have Scorched Earth that we can get some fire energy in the discard pile. I think we always power him up with Blacksmith. That's always the option here. That's really the only way we're going to accelerate. We're not playing anything like Embor or, you know, those kind of stuff. But anyways, we have 3 Floatstones just for the Whale Lord and the Reshiram and stuff like that, just so that we can retreat into the Charizard when we need to. We have the Protection Cube, 2 of these to protect ourselves from getting hit with 50 damage. We have 4 DCEs to power up the Charizard and 8 of these fire energies. That's it for the deck. Let's go ahead and see this deck in action on Pokemon TCG Online. Alright, looks like we're playing against Trace, Eevee, something rather. I'm not too sure, but we get to go first, so that's always good. And here we go. We start off with a Charizard EX. At times like these, I wish I actually went second. That way we have a shot at doing a Stoke, or a Stroke, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. We're just going to go with that, and we will end the turn. Not much here for us, folks. We have 2 supporters that are worthless right now. This is absolutely useless, and there's no energies in the discard pile. Yeah, I think if I could choose any supporter right now, it definitely would not be any of these 2, nor would it be Lysander's Trump card or Lysander. So that leaves me with only a couple choices: Skyla, Juniper, and N as supporters I would prefer to have at this moment. But maybe not. The Pokemon Center Lady might come in handy sometime later in the future. Ooh, we see the Execute and a Deoxys hit the discard pile with the Computer Search. We can see something like a supporter. I'm not sure. Oh, we see a DCE. We could see something like Signs of Evolution. We see the Silent Lab. We see a Professor Sycamore. A Floatstone gets discarded, as well as a Lysander. And alright, looks like we are on our way. My opponent goes for Signs of Evolution. My opponent being able to get any card, any evolution of evolution that my opponent needs. And wow, this is pretty bad right here. We actually draw into not a pretty hand. And I'm gonna discard this Charizard, and we get another Charizard. Are you kidding me? And here is a Blacksmith. That's not really useful. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see if we can flip heads. Please give me heads. And yes, oh my goodness, look at that. In the next turn, we should be able. We can knock out this Eevee. If not, I'd like to evolve. That'd be pretty cool. So I'm gonna end up Junipering my hand, and we have a Sigilyph here that's useless because Safeguard does not work since my opponent has Silent Lab over here. We see the Flareon, but it doesn't matter. I should be able to knock out the Flareon. My opponent only has 2 Pokemon in the discard pile. We see a Jirachi that could go for a Lysander, or that could go for a Professor Sycamore. It could go for anything. And you know what? If my opponent gets a bunch of Battle Compressors, my opponent can actually knock out the Charizard. We see an energy there, and the Charizard gets hit for 70. Oh boy, times like these, I tell you. I'm going to go ahead and just power up this Charizard. Let's go ahead and get some energy into the discard pile so we can play the Blacksmith. And oh, where are all the energies? Are you kidding me? Oh, there are no more energies. So that means we don't need a Battle Compressor. We don't really need to see Professor's Letter. And I suppose we don't really need to see a Whale Lord, I guess. And wow, there is no energy whatsoever. That is insane. Let's go for the Juniper, and most assuredly we can play. Let's counter the Stadium, and as of right now, I might as well just go with the Fire Blast. Let's take a look. We have 5 energies, so we have 5-hour energy. I'm kidding. There it is. That is a knockout on the Flareon, and I would love to get the Mega Charzard into play. We see a Jirachi here. And, oh boy, we get end into the Mega Charzard. That's always really good. Right now, if I could get a Pokemon Center Lady, that's kind of funny. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. We see an Execute, Battle Compressor. My opponent can still get some more Pokemon onto his bench before getting knocked out. Oh man, this is gold right here. If I can knock out this Jirachi with 600 damage, oh man. That would be awesome. We see 2 Empoleons get discarded, as well as an Execute. So we could see something. Oh, okay. So this is definitely a Flareon Empoleon deck that we're dealing with. Here is the Eevee, and my opponent definitely can get something going here. Right now, since this is a Mega Charzard deck, I'm really tempted to just power up this Mega Charzard. So you know what, I'm gonna do that. Let's just go ahead and heal. We'll bring in the Pokemon Center Lady. Why the heck not? Let's just heal this off, and I'm gonna go ahead and just power up this Charizard. And here we go. This is this is crazy. Alright, in the next turn, what I want to do is get the Jirachi, and get Jirachi for my last Juniper. I should have one last Juniper in the deck. And that way, if I can get Jirachi, we should be able to at least draw into the Protection Cube. So my opponent can still bring out the Flareon. Flareon will be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, including the 20s. That's 100 damage. We see the Acrobike discarding another Pokemon. We see a Slurpuff get discarded. Here is the Flareon. My opponent can definitely retreat. And I was just kind of playing around, and I wouldn't mind taking out this Flareon. That's okay with me. So here we go. My opponent plays for more Pokemon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus the Swirlix, that might get discarded as well. I don't know. But anyways, I mean, that won't be enough to knock us out, and I should be able to take on the Flareon head on and just put that Flareon to sleep by putting him in the faint. But we could see something like a Lysander bringing out this Charizard EX, taking this Charizard EX in one shot, but that's it. So, hey, look at that. We got the Jirachi here. I'm going to go ahead and just play this here right now. let's go ahead and play the Jirachi for, you know what, we could play the Skyla and get the protection cube and guarantee it. So I might do that. I want to do what guarantees. We're not in a huge hurry and we're just playing for fun. So let's just go ahead, we'll get the Skyla, and I just want to get the protection cube and not have to deal with missing and whiffing on that. We only have 2 of these protection cubes, might as well. I want to do what guarantees me the best. And oh my goodness, 600 damage on this little Jirachi EX. And we even get a VS Secret to boot. Wow, we can play and get the Juniper. That is fantastic. And we only need 1 more energy onto this Charizard, be able to, so we can start attacking with this Charizard on the bench. We can play this DCE, and this Charizard on the bench is ready to go. My opponent here has a ton of Pokemon here, but shouldn't be enough to really do us too much harm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Pokemon, plus Silver Bangle. Oh my goodness, my opponent can get some more Pokemon out here. But my opponent will need to do 210 damage to get the job done. What I can do is play for a Lysander. That's actually a pretty good choice, but there is no Lysander available to us. And this Mega Charzard only has 1 retreat cost. Can you believe that? That's great. You know, you figured these Charizard could be really big and bulky. This Charizard EX here is actually a 2 retreat cost. We see my opponent play for the Execute. We see the Ultra Ball, discarding 2 of those Executes that my opponent propagated back into his hand. That's always a nice benefit of Execute. But the funny thing is my opponent plays Silent Lab, meaning that would actually shut off the Execute as well. So here we go. We see the Flareon. We see a Battle Compressor. My opponent is down to 7 cards in his deck, minus 1 more at the very least. And there you go. My opponent is down to 4. And wow, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 Pokemon. And that's going to be a little bit short here, folks. Just a tad bit short. And this is going to be the game, I think. Again, let's just go ahead. We're going to thin out the deck a little bit. I want to discard. Let's just get rid of the Whale Lord. And you know what? Let's just go ahead. There is no Lysander in here, though, so Pokemon Center Lady is not really useful. We actually use Pokemon Center Lady pretty well already, and that's it. There's not much else to see here, folks. We have a Charizard here powered up and ready to go. I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Crimson Dive, taking out the Flareon and doing nothing to ourselves. And still, no Lysander. All we need is 1 Lysander, bring out the Jirachi, take him out, and call it a day. So, oh boy, here's the Flareon. I mean, we can still knock out the Flareon in 1 shot with the Charizard on the bench. So I think this is pretty much game for us. My opponent is down to 1 card. And, I mean, I can actually cause my opponent to deck out right now by playing N, which is kind of funny. But anyways, I might actually do that. I might just play N and make my opponent deck out, I think. Nope, never mind. My opponent off those prize cards. My opponent was able to get some more cards that way. But anyways, here we go. Let's just go with the Fire Blast. My opponent doesn't have anything else on the bench. And I can still evolve as well. But alright, here we go. Let's just go with the Fire Blast. That's going to be taking out 1 Fire Energy. I'm going to take out the DCE since I have another one in my hand. I want to give myself a shot to evolve into the Mega Charzard if need be. And we still have enough to do another Fire Blast anyway. And I like how it's just discarding energy. It's not a specific energy, so it doesn't mean it has to be a fire energy. We do get the Lysander here, so that means if my opponent retreats into... If my opponent was able to get play a Lysander's trump card and, you know, retreat... Oh, there is the Lysander's trump card, and my opponent didn't play for any of the... what do you call it? Those eggs. My opponent didn't play for any eggs, and you know what? I don't know. I think, the question is, do I want to evolve, right? If I evolve, then I think that'll be a lot of fun. This is a Mega Charzard deck. We must Mega Evolve. I have to Mega Evolve. I absolutely must. And I probably will. So, alright. So let's take a look at the Jirachi. We've got a Ditto over here. We see a Battle Compressor. well, it's pretty much GG, but I think I'm gonna have some fun, and I'm gonna have to Mega Evolve, right? So let's go ahead. We will play the energy, and then I will Mega Evolve. It's kind of a risky move, right? Because what if my opponent plays something like an Crushing Hammer or Enhanced Hammer, and then my opponent plays N, and I get N down to 1 card. So I don't know. Alrighty then, I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, my opponent is down to 0 cards in his hand unless he top decks something. I'm just going to go ahead, we will just Mega Evolve here. I want to do Crimson Dive one more time and call it a day. So there we go, my opponent concedes the match. I didn't get to do Crimson Dive, but hey, we got to Mega Evolve one more time. There we go. That's the Mega Charzard deck here, folks. What do you guys think? We actually had a really good start. I would have to hand my opponent and let my opponent know. That was just, I think my opponent didn't draw as well, and we ended up just getting a ton of good cards while we were able to deal 1,140 damage. Mega Charzard here, folks. Mega Charzard. Anyways, that's it for the video. I'm done for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And, you know, if you guys are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, you like the content here, please subscribe. There's a little button below. You should just go ahead and click it, and it'll be a happy day for you. I'm not sure. I can't give you any promises. But anyways, you guys all take care. Have a wonderful day. See you guys later. Goodbye.